Hello, my name is Jacob Burton, and this is Introduction to Data-Driven Decision Making, so accelerating INATech into the future. This presentation is for the Data Acquisition and Analytics course taught by Professor Matson at Southwestern College Professional Studies. All right, diving right into it. In this presentation, I'll explain why INATech should use or should leverage its data to make better decisions. We'll begin by covering down on what data-driven decision making is. Sometimes I'll refer to it as triple DM in this presentation. Some examples of data-driven decision making, the benefits of using data to make decisions, and how to transition towards making data-driven decisions, and how INATech can apply that data. All right, starting off. What is data-driven decision making? So triple DM is the process of using data to inform the decision-making process and validate a course of action before committing to a decision. Instead of solely relying on leadership and their intuition to make decisions, data can verify, validate, or quantify why you should or should not do something. There is nothing intrinsically wrong with trusting your gut feeling, but data can solidify intuition or bring to light other concerns that are worth considering. So that's triple DM. Here's an example of triple DM, a positive one, I'd say. So Amazon's advertisement campaign. Amazon, if you didn't know this, they collect information from their consumers such as demographics, buying behavior, and locations, like where you live, stuff like that. It pairs that information it collects with products and sellers that are paying for increased visibility. So if you're ever shopping on Amazon and you see, Amazon sponsored or something like that, little tag on it, that's what Amazon is doing. It's using information on you and using information from a seller and putting them together so you see it as something that maybe you want to buy. It's recommended to you. By doing this, Amazon advertising actually boasts that the sponsored products have the highest sales from ads. The return on ad spending is also positive, so people are getting their money back and more from doing it. And they even said that products that have the Amazon sale or are sponsored rather, Amazon sponsored up in the corner, saw a 14% increase in sales over 20 weeks with that. So works out pretty good for both Amazon, I would say, because people are paying them for the advertisement, that little stamp that Amazon gives. And people that are selling products and getting that on there are also seeing some benefit out of it. And potentially the consumer is seeing benefit out of it too. They're getting products recommended to them that Amazon thinks they would like. All right, another example is triple DM in education. So data-driven decision making has a lot of applications, but another example is this education. So, and if you think about it, this example too could be used to apply to like training programs within a business. So you could apply triple DM to that and see how your training programs are doing, what kind of employee you're producing, stuff like that. But anyway, getting back to the examples. Purdue University uses its data to inform a predictive analytics tool, and that tool actually gives the administration knowledge about whether or not there are any signs that a student might be struggling with a class, or if a student is about to fail a course, and then they can intervene on behalf of that student. Indiana University uses its data to ensure that its courses that it's providing match student demand. So that's a more simpler form of using triple DM. So they're providing the right kind of education for what the students want. All right, benefits of data-driven decisions. So there's many benefits, but we're just going to talk about these four. Among the benefits are improved confidence in decisions. We'll rather becoming more proactive with your decisions. Sorry about that. Realizing cost savings and improving customer experiences. So the improved confidence in decisions comes from being able to verify decisions against hard numbers, right? Instead of just going off your gut feeling, you want something that you can compare it against and see that, yes, this is positive. It also shows you when something is or isn't repeatable, and it allows you to adjust accordingly. Additionally, it factors into you being more proactive when you see stuff like that. If situations are looking similar, then you can expect similar outcomes and adjust ahead of time to optimize the outcome. So that'd be being proactive versus reactive is experiencing something and then adjusting, right? So realizing cost comes from the ability to project how many, or rather how much of something will be and when you'll need it. So, you know, when you understand that, you can make decisions about when you should purchase an item or when you should pass on purchasing something. The fourth one is improving customer experience, and it comes in the form of finding out what the customer cares about and then adjusting your business to accommodate your typical customer. So like the Amazon example, you can determine what a customer might be interested in and then advertise that product to them. Or, you know, on a simpler level, it could be, you know, as basic as reorganizing a store floor, maybe like Walmart or something like that, and putting items that are typically bought together in the same location to make it easier for your customers. Next, we'll talk about transitioning to triple DM. So how do we even transition to it, right? We're going off our gut feeling. What do we do to get there? These are the 5 steps that I came up with that should get you to the point where you can make data-driven decisions. Initially, you determine your business issues, such as what is most important for your company, or if the company is trying to realize an opportunity, or if the company is trying to fix a problem. Then you'll strategize and identify goals that will help you answer your business issue. This looks something like determining what you can accomplish with your data, or what type of personnel, how many personnel, what qualifications do those personnel have, what the requirement would be for the project. Third, you'll determine what type of data you need to acquire. So it's targeting data, right? Does it need to be qualitative or quantitative? How are you going to collect the data? If you can use focus groups, if you can use social media, and then determine what collectible data is most valuable to your goals. The fourth step is collecting and analyzing the data. Collecting is somewhat straightforward, as you should consider if you already have the data. You also need to determine if you need to purchase the data and if you have the means of storing the data that you're collecting. When you analyze, you should be looking into if the data answers your questions, if it matches what you expected to be collected, and what tools you use to help with your analysis. The last step is naturally to make a decision based on your findings. If you haven't completed the previous steps in a satisfying manner by the time it's decision time, then you need to revisit those steps before you make the decision. All right, putting the data to use. So Initech, right? Talking about transitioning. What does it look like for Initech to answer its critical questions? Well, the first thing I would say is start small. This is not an all or nothing approach. The second should be to document everything as you guys go. It'll take time to build up the processes and skills to utilize this kind of decision making. So document as you go and adjust where needed. The third is to keep communication open with your teams. Everybody needs to be on the same page with the direction of the company. If there's a lack of collaboration, then it is likely to lead to flawed recommendations, and the decision makers will not be armed with the correct information before pulling the trigger. All right, fourth, you need to be aware of confirmation bias. So a natural flaw of triple DM is that you're intentionally seeking data, right? And we're looking for stuff that supports our decision making. It's important to look for data that also disagrees with our approach and acknowledge when the data is telling you to do something else. So don't just ignore the data when it tells you to do something else. And then the last part I would say is, learn from each data-driven decision that you make. Triple DM can kind of be compared with, using a new muscle, right? It's got to be used repeatedly to build up its strength, and you need to figure out where its limitations are and how to improve its performance. So in conclusion, Initech should leverage its data to make better decisions. We covered what data-driven decision-making is, some examples of triple DM, the benefits of using data to make decisions, how to transition towards it, and how Initech can start using its data to answer critical questions. Thank you. Here are some of the references that I used to put together this presentation. And here's the rest.